Alright, we're back and we're gonna end this conflict once and for all. Well, that's a giant sphere. Oh, hello. Heart of the fortress. Well, we're up against Big Bad Matthew himself.
The Soul Stone is a born sanctuary. The blood of demons will soon be gone from all creation. You will be the last of your kind for a few moments. Death comes.
Alright, so we're against Matthew himself. This is not an easy fight. He's got a lot of health. Usually on the higher difficulties, he spams a lot of those clouds you see on the ground. Anytime he does that circle ability, see how the Hydra's fireballs are bouncing off him? They won't do anything. So he does a lot of moves in this fight. This move right here will destroy your health. So it's good to just kind of run away. If you got long range, do it. But usually he's going to be definitely up in your face and trying to hurt you as much as possible. But anytime he puts that shield up around him, do not use any projectiles. Blades don't count as a projectile, but anything like the magic missile and the, I believe the shock rope just count as a magic missile. But after a certain part of the fight, he's going to start sending his minions in. Those can be very difficult. Let's up the difficulty. This is a big fight. I think I can take this guy. There we go. Now he's much tougher. Now when he starts doing this orb trick, you just kind of have to... Ouch, that hurt a lot. Pretty much you want to hit the outside. Hi, left boy. And try to avoid all this as much as possible. At the end, it shoots back out. So we got to try to watch out as much as possible. I don't want to use... There we go. After a certain point, this happens. Oh, hey, he brought it back. Why is that? Oh. Ah, crap. He absorbed it. Now, essentially, the boss fight is the same, but he's a little tougher now. He's going to be much faster, and he's definitely got some new abilities, so we need to watch out. When he does this jump, you need to watch where he lands. Pretty much, you need to get behind him to avoid that attack there. It's like Diablo's lightning chain. Pretty much, that's going to destroy your health. We need to watch out for that as absolute cost. And now he starts doing a lot more of these clouds. We need to watch out for that as well, because that can do a lot of damage. But essentially, yeah, see, those clouds can just destroy if you're not paying attention. Alright, good. Luckily, the way I was going, he didn't pick that way to destroy. Essentially, he does a lot of crowd control damage, and if you don't pay attention, he can hurt you severely, like he's doing this right now. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Luckily, I brought this follower, because he actually heals you, while the rest really don't. The scoundrel hides too much, and I think the enchantress isn't that good for this fight. Pretty much when he jumps like that, you've really got to pay attention where he moves. Pretty much just stay behind him as much as possible. I need to heal. There we go. But at the end of that, he dies. And the funny thing is, his clouds count as an actual enemy, so that's why we get that massacre bonus, but we're only fighting one guy. You can get those with all his little minions, but it definitely takes longer. That's the end of death. Ooh, legendary. So let's talk about our level up, and we'll look at the helmet shortly. Pretty much level... Oh, crap, I forgot. Level 45. Pretty much now we get a new passive, which is the Flux, which pretty much... This is a really good ability if you're using an Arcane build. This pretty much adds slow to everybody. So, yeah. And it looks like Mirror's Image got an ability where they explode after a certain amount of time. I didn't transform. I kind of wish I did, but we didn't. And our legendary is, what the frig is that? Never seen that before. Death's Crow. Huh. Essentially we can charm undead. That might be actually pretty good. I just have to customize a little bit, get some better stats, get rid of one of those life per seconds or hits. But that's it. We killed death. But at what cost? Ooh. Well, sorry. One more ability. We also got, once I can find it, for Arcane Orb. This is actually a pretty decent one because it's one that we want for our fire build. Scorch. This sends an orb out to do damage as fire, but also burns the ground. So pretty much you do an orb attack, but it also burns along the way and does fire damage over time. So this is actually a pretty good one for our fire build. So I'm going to throw this on. But that's it. We beat the game. But at what cost? Oh, sorry.
Where is the Black Soulstone?
Malthael consumed it and took Diablo's soul.
Then Malthael's dead will have released Diablo. He is free.
That's right. You killing death means Diablo is freed again. I'll probably open up to the next game, but they haven't really made it yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But congrats, we killed death. Well, yeah, sure, let's go to the main menu. Haha, you did, sucker.
The Nephilim had done the impossible. By conquering death, she had redeemed the angels and saved all mankind. In that moment, with victory at hand, I saw the Nephilim in a new light. She is a hero who can defeat the champions of heaven and hell, and a wizard who protects the innocent.
Yeah.
But within her beats a mortal heart that will one day be tempted to corruption. On that day, will she have the strength to resist, or will she be our doom?
And that is it. That is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Congrats, you beat it. But there's more challenges and rewards waiting you in adventure mode. Yep, that'll be part of our bonus for our Let's Play here. But essentially, yep, we beat Diablo 3. Now, if you're playing on the original Diablo 3, you have to go through all the different difficulties to get an ending that just says you've beaten Diablo 3. While this game, once you beat it, you're tempted to go on to adventure mode, which you definitely want to do to level up your character more, do all the extra challenges there if you're interested. But yeah, that's pretty much the game's story. Essentially, we killed Diablo to set him free because Death got screwed in the head. Doesn't like us. Must have been too pretty or something. But essentially, yeah, this game I definitely like. That's why it's my, well, first Let's Play. Now, if you're definitely into hack and slash and grinding drops type of games, where like good examples are like the Phantasy Star Online games, the Phantasy Star Universe, Diablo, of course the older ones as well. Essentially those type of games where pretty much you just keep playing and playing, sometimes doing the same stuff over again, trying to get better gear to get stronger. That's that type of game. If you like that type of stuff, you'll definitely like Diablo 3. A lot of fun, a lot of interesting concepts. I mean, I only went over one class essentially. I mean, there's still 5 more, all kinds of different builds, setup, the equipment add on so much different ability and replay. I mean, I got my main wizard, he has a special orb that lets him shoot 3 magic missiles out instead of just the 1. Which, combined with that seeking one, you do a lot of damage. I mean, I don't even use some of the stronger ones, I just kind of spam that and I do a lot of damage. But I mean, even my barbarian, I got an ability where it cuts half the charge for this Quake ability or something like that. So essentially I can just spam that and I help my teammates just slowing everybody down. But yeah, pretty much you just want to keep playing this game to have fun. Play with friends is definitely recommended. I mean, I just did a solo just to get the story down, but essentially if you're going to play online, please play with people. This essentially makes the game much more fun. Just because it adds a lot more different variety. You get to play with different offsets, how you work your build, if you're going to be more offensive, supportive. So yeah, this game adds a lot of different variations. I mean, I've just played with this wizard this time, and it was a completely different build. I mean, my original one was a lightning setup, so I just did a lot of stunning. Well, the fire one was actually kind of fun. I mean, I didn't really think it was going to work out that well since I was on the first game when I started this, and fire abilities in that one are not the greatest, honestly, if you're still playing that one. But on this one, they definitely amped up the fire abilities. So, gameplay-wise, definitely a 10 out of 10. I'm going to have to rate these somehow. Just because it's so much fun. There is a few moments where you do get gypped out of equipment and stuff like that. They definitely fixed that in this one. You still see it once in a while, but it's not as bad as the original game. So the original game, I'm probably going to have to give like an 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10. And this game, definitely a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Just because of how well it was done. Story-wise, I'd probably give about an 8. I mean, it does go along the way of how we still stick with Deckard Cain on how his adventure with the Lords of Hell, and pretty much what happens to Diablo each time, and what is he really trying to do. We see in the first game he's just trying to take over not Tyrael, that'd be kind of weird, Tristram. In the second game, you see he goes back to hell just to get more powerful. In this one, you really see it all kind of come together where he's just trying to take over all the Lords of Hell to get them the most powerful. And the DLC just kind of adds on more to it. This game definitely adds on to it, and it's kind of interesting where we face death, where we don't really get introduced to a lot of the angels in this game, except for Tyrael, and that's really it. So it's kind of nice adding on to that story. In our character, just the idea that we're, born by fate, to be the only one that does the job to get it done. That's most common in most games nowadays. For most of the RPGs, oh, it's your destiny, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, definitely probably a 8 out of 10 on that. Just because it's a repetitive story, but it's a story that works. Music, I'd probably give that about I want to say a 6 or 7, probably a 6. Only because it is still dark and gloomy. It's comforting a little bit, but at the same time, it doesn't get really intense until like the Diablo fight and the Malthier fight you just saw there. The music just really amps it up to see that you are really fighting something that is impossible. But overall, it's just kind of a mediocre. Well, I shouldn't say mediocre because it's balanced right for this type of game for how dark it is, but it doesn't really jazz things up too much to keep you interested and want to listen to the music later. Graphics, it's a top-down view, so you can't expect too much. But graphics, I'd probably give a 7 out of 10, only because, I mean, with all the abilities and all that going off at once, that's what definitely builds this up. But I mean, Diablo's never really been a big graphic game. I mean, yeah, you see blood and gore and stuff like that. That's almost with any game nowadays. I mean, when it first came out, it was interesting. But now, it's there. So I'd probably say it's out of 7. So I mean, I think that's most of everything. Online, if you're playing with regular people that play the game just normally, don't hack or anything like that, this online is amazing. The community works together perfectly. They'll work together, try to work with each other to boost each other's stats, to give each other better equipment, need gems, need cash, work together as a perfect society. That way they're all working together to achieve the same goal. So I would give that definitely a 9 out of 10. Until we add on to the hacker community. The hacker community definitely ruins it for this series. Only because it's always been like that since, well, even Diablo 1. I mean, my friends used to find hacks that just pretty much ruined the game. Diablo 2 was no exception. I mean, you buy programs to do it. It's essentially the same deal as now. There's ways of doing that on the consoles, and PC ports, definitely. I mean, everyone's been trying to hack into it, and it kind of just ruins the game. Because, I mean, once you get the best weapons for your hacked abilities and you say, oh, I'm just trying to find better gear, you just made better gear. It kind of, it's anti-productive. It's all backwards thinking almost. So if you're playing with legit people, definitely 9 out of 10. If you're playing with hackers, and if you just want to get experience or just get extra gold or just try to get some of the achievements done, I'd probably say a 3 out of 4 out of 10, just because they do ruin it. You just kind of have to follow them and hope you get something decent. Especially since they're getting all the kills, the game recognizes that they're getting the kills, so you're not going to get as much stuff. You might get a legendary here and there, but it's pretty rare. So overall, I would definitely give this game a 9 out of 10. Only because everything balances, as long as everything's legit, everything balances out perfectly. Of course, there's always hiccups, there's glitches. Some balances aren't the greatest. I mean, some of the Demon Hunter builds are insane. I mean, legit damage output 2 mil is just crazy. But, I mean, overall, I mean, that's just how that class works. So, overall, like I said, 9 out of 10. I do enjoy this game a lot. I keep playing it to this day. I mean, even right when it came out on consoles, I went crazy with it. And once this came out on PC, I saw my buddy playing. I'm like, I gotta have it. And then once there was talk that it wasn't coming to console, I got worried. Only because I wanted to play this game so bad. But luckily it came to console. We're not getting all the patches, which kind of sucks. I mean, I don't expect them. The consoles are getting older. I mean, I'm playing this on the 360. It's almost 10 years old now. So I do like how they're adding more patches to like the newer consoles, but it kind of keeps tempting me to get the new console. But yeah, we just got 2.6, and well, we got it right when it launched, which kind of ruined a lot of the ideas behind 2.5 for this game. I'll explain that in a bonus video, but yeah, essentially that's the game. Did the story. We're gonna do some bonus videos. We're talk more about adventure mode, how that works, the bonuses, the rifts, bounties. I mean, bounties, not bonuses. The bonuses of actually doing adventure mode, the rifts, the Uber bosses. I never really talked about them. How to get to them, how to make those, how to make the hellfire rings. There's a lot more to this game than you think just doing the story. So, and that comes back to the whole replaying over and over again. You gotta scratch through the surface some more times to really get to the meat and bones of this game. But yeah, this is Supernova X4. I'm glad, well, I hope you enjoyed this experience. I'm glad a lot of people have been following me on this. Not too many, but I mean, I've had people sub to this, and I like that. If you guys want to see more from me, I want to try to do another Let's Play. I'm not sure what yet, but if you enjoy this, I'll be working on some bonuses for a little while, and after that, we'll see what happens. And like I said, this is Supernova. Have a good day.